it's quite a remote place in terms of, getting there. To get to Bastar, you have to take a 7-hour bus ride from Raipur. So I used to keep going there, trying to collect affidavits. If there was news that there had been a major encounter or killing, then I'd try and go there and get information. The police and the paramilitary forces have really made it difficult for anybody to do independent fact findings. Basically, what Salwa Judum was a state-sponsored vigilante operation. The government forced people to come to rallies, and then it took them forcibly on processions to other villages and burnt those villages. And it also recruited villagers as special police officers, so it gave young people arms and let them loose to fight the Maoists. And in the process, supposedly, of fighting the Maoists, they actually went around burning a lot of villages, killing people, raping women. All of this was with complete, government support. So there was a fundamental violation of the right to life. The other thing that the court pointed out in its judgment in 2011, when on the basis of a PIL that we filed, was that it was also a violation of the right to equality of the SPOs, the special police officers. You take these untrained youngsters and you make them fight the Naxalites, it puts them at risk. As with human rights violations, generally in this country, people are very uninterested, and there's a high level of impunity. For about 2 years, I could count maybe 5 or 10 articles in the national press. Even if human rights groups said anything, then they would be attacked as being Maoist fronts. So I just felt that we had to cover all bases, and if it was a family member, then one would have to go to the court. I was always anxious before a hearing because it's just a nerve-wracking thing, because you have to make sure that all your files are there and everything is, the lawyers are kind of ready with the right arguments, and so that's what made me anxious, the hearings, and the fact that every time we'd get this adjournment and then you go all prepared and the hearing doesn't happen. So that always really upset me. It's like studying for an exam and the exam doesn't happen, and then you have to start studying for it again 6 months later. Democracy in this country is quite exciting in the sense that there's always something going on, there's always something to get angry about. So it's very exciting to live in India, and the fact that so many people are protesting, for all sorts of things. And it's not a quiet, resigned kind of country. So I think that's what really gives one hope, that there will be other people who feel the same way. I think the citizens are in many ways quite aware of what their rights are. It's just that if you're being shot at for asking for your rights, then being aware is not enough, right? I don't think the problem is lack of citizens' awareness. I think the problem is that the state thinks that it can get away with anything. And they have the guns and they have the money and they have everything on their side. I think the Constitution offers a lot, but at the same time, it's actually a kind of internally contradictory document, because some parts of it are about independence and some parts of it are about continuing the old colonial form of government. I think the preamble sort of shows us where we're heading, and if the rest of the Constitution doesn't live up to it, then the rest of the Constitution needs to be changed.